Hey.
Hey, we're live.
We did it.
Apologies if you followed the old link. I mean, this wouldn't be experience points without some insane technical difficulties, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So I'm just real quick posting a new tweet that you guys can all look at and be like, wow, they did it right the first time. There's no need to examine that any deeper.
We went to great lengths to make sure that there was an issue for you guys.
Right. Because at this point, that's part of our brand. Do you know what I mean? Like, if we didn't have an issue, hey, Brooke, if we didn't have an issue, then it wouldn't really be experience points. I think that's kind of the main thing people like about it.
Yeah, I know that's what I like the most about it.
Me too. Hey, it does works. What's up, Kimmy? How you doing?
Hey.
Just trying to get a new tweet out there in the universe. What's going on with you guys? Tell me about your lives. Mine is about this tweet right now.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, Brent?
Hello, Canada.
Thanks for being so active on Twitter, my friend. Okay, there's a new one. I'm going to edit the post on Patreon. And then we're ready to answer some questions. So if you guys got some questions, get questioning. Start to question. You know what I mean? Question reality. Yeah, be inquisitive. Get interrogative.
What are dominoes? Good luck.
Good, yeah.
I mean,
wait.
We'll probably.
You know who you should have ordered from? If you didn't want your pizza to arrive at any point in your human existence, you should have ordered from Pizza Patrol. Now, what's funny about Pizza Patrol, real quick, before we dive into the Q&A, is that I love Pizza Patrol, and I have nothing against them, but we do make them seem like a very bad pizza company in the show, and that's just not accurate to who they are.
They're great.
They are great. They're cheap. They're greasy, and that's what you want from 4 a.m. pizza.
Yeah, I think no one outside of that area of
like Moorhead, Minnesota. Yeah,
I think it's very singular in its existence.
Yeah, you can't. And that's kind of the point. Is it was supposed to be the smallest, dumbest local chain imaginable. Let me make sure that this link works before we go nuts here. Are we live, Beppy? We are live, Beppy. Okay, cool.
Adam Pearson.
Hey, what's up, Adam? Brooke, Jen? Hey, we got a good little crowd of people in here. Awesome. Well, we're just going to hang out for a little bit. We're going to answer a couple of questions that we got from the Twitterverse. Actually, not too many preloaded questions. It probably means that you guys are all capable of coming and hanging out with us. Hey, Shad Owner. You see what's funny about that, Shad Owner, is the reason you can see and hear us is because we're in the same room. And we're not trying to do some weird Skype nonsense.
Timothy is here.
I'm physically present. I'm physically present.
Not a trick or
illusion. No, not an illusory programmed illusion. So that's why it's easy, because if everyone just lived in the same city and one of us didn't live in Seattle.
It's true. Okay, this is the most important question
here we go.
Asked all day.
Kate really likes pizza.
Oh my God.
Go ahead and read the question out, because I don't know.
Absolutely been waiting for anyone to ever ask me this in my life. You have no idea how much this means to me. So what's my go-to pizza toppings? Let's see. Currently, my favorite pizza place is Blaze Pizza, which it's a chain and I don't know how far it goes out, but if you can go to Blaze, of the fast fire pizza places, it's my favorite.
Hey, Jack. What's up, man?
And I get Ovalini cheese and pepperoni.
Whoa. Ovalini cheese is like the dollop of cheese, right? It's like the
it's
wedge.
like a mozzarella, like a big pearl of mozzarella that they break apart. But it's not like smooth and creamy. It's still mozzarella in its texture.
I think we're talking about the same thing. I just used a weird word. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Cool. Awesome. So say that kind of cheese again.
Ovalini.
Ovalini. Today's stream is brought to you by Ovalini cheese, not by the Blaze, but by Ovalini.
Just the cheese.
She's very fancy. I'm very controversial. I like pineapple and Canadian bacon. Yeah, sorry guys. Yes or no on pineapple? Yes, I'm a stringent pro pineapple supporter. Pineapple is incredible. It's the only pizza topping. No, that's not true. But what I realize is when I get funky is pineapple, Canadian bacon.
Thanks, Brooke.
You're wrong, Brooke. You're beautiful, but you're wrong. And then you're also wrong, Jack. And then anchovies. That's my real go-to. One time I ordered it as like a joke. This is going to be the grossest pizza ever. And I loved it. It's great.
I can't even. I love pineapple. I don't want it out there that I hate pineapple. I just don't want it warmed up on my pizza. That's weird.
So you're saying they're like separate but equal, right? You're not like anti-pineapple.
Against people I'm just going to read these comments here.
I like pineapple, but I don't have anything against people liking them on your pizza. I think Kimby's got a good policy. Done well gets that. Gets that caramelization. That's so true. Oh, we got pineapple, feta cheese, spicy Italian sausage, the perfect blend of sweet, spicy, and salty.
Interesting.
Brent came to play. He is not here.
Fuck this Q&A. Yeah. I just want to talk about pizza.
We've never had this much engagement in chat,
which
is sad. But yeah, let's talk about pizza.
I love pizza.
Great. Well, we'll find out what kind of pizza. Well, maybe we will. Maybe we won't find out. Maybe Pizza Patrol will never arrive. We're gonna find out very soon.
I don't know. I've never seen this, so I have no idea what's going to happen.
She's not sure how it's going to
I
turn
really
out.
hope they show up, but
Fingers crossed. Yeah, great. So let's answer a couple of the questions that we got online. Let's see. So I think it was Jack Plant might have asked this yesterday, or a different Jack. There's two Jacks that are big followers of ours. I sometimes mix those two Jacks up. I'm sorry, Jacks. I know you're right there in the chat. The question was about what is our favorite like game system, RPG system to play in, and then what is our favorite RPG system to DM distinctly. So I know you don't have as much experience DMing, Kate, so maybe you want to take one of the playing questions. Go for it. What do you think? Because I know you've not played a lot of different systems, but you have bounced around a little bit, right?
Yeah.
I can also take it first if you want to think.
I'm gonna think about it.
So my favorite to play, I mean, honestly, I haven't played a lot of other systems as a player. I've DM'd a handful of other systems. You know, I had a really good time with Blades in the Dark, which is by Evil Hat Productions. You guys have probably heard of it. It's kind of a like Victorian steampunk caper system. And I played it at a convention one time, and I've been obsessed with this system, but hadn't had a chance to play it. It was really, really fun. I had a good experience with that. As a DM, like obviously Dungeons and Dragons, I think is the easiest, most accessible. But the one I like running the most actually is Fantasy Flight Games' Star Wars: Edge of the Empire, because the dice mechanic. I know they use it in the Genesis system as well, but the dice mechanic in that with the successes and complications and stuff is just it expands and like explodes out the number of storytelling possibilities. Like with D&D, sometimes you kind of have to reach to put story into the dice, but in Edge of the Empire, it's baked in. It's so good. There's a lot of crunch in that system, so maybe Genesis would be better if you A, don't like Star Wars, or B, don't want to deal with like, you know, astrogation and all the weird Star Wars stuff that's in there. But the pure dice mechanic of success with complication and failure with advantage, like, oh man, that's like that's my bread and butter. Okay, I gave you a lot of time to think.
Yeah, I guess I just really haven't played in that many systems. I really liked 4 when we started it, and I was really, really hesitant to switch to 5 when we finally had to.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
I just really, 4 was like where I was most comfortable because that's what I started with and grew in. But I think I do prefer 5 now before it's streamlined, and DMing in 5 as well. And this isn't quite a system question, but like it is a game going around cons and everything currently. If you guys are ever at a con and you have the chance to play Blood on the Clock Tower, please go do that. Shout out to Megan Captain, one of our season 2 talent.
I did get a chance to play it. It seemed really cool.
It's really, really fun. It's a smaller like
werewolf, right?
Yeah. But it's really fun.
I have terrible news, Kate. We got the question wrong. The question was, I have one for Alan, me, and Kate. What published campaign setting is your favorite to play in? Not system. What have we done?
Oh my God.
Yeah, there. And then Jack Plant asked it. Another question I have is, what published D&D campaign setting do you love to DM? Thanks for checking in, Jack Plant.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is a very easy one for me, actually. My favorite to play in is actually probably Eberron. I really, really like playing in it. I never DM'd it, but it seems crazy, and we had a fun time. I ran a half-orc private detective, an inquisitive, as they're called in Eberron, named Grimace. And his whole thing was that he had spent 30 years in House Thrash, which is the like private, the sort of the hunting house in that. So it was always like, oh, God damn it, 30 years in House Thrash. And I did like a Tom Waits impression for his voice. That was really fun. So I loved Eberron when I played in it. My favorite campaign setting to DM, though, and there's a very distinct contrast here because I would hate to play in it because of how nasty it is. But I'm running Curse of Strahd right now for some of our friends, the Bearded Man, many of whom you know. Cody's in that campaign. Matt Pinder's in that campaign. Paul Vanosic, Stephen Loney. Actually, the entire cast, all those players are in some season of XP because Tori's in there too. Tori who plays Vaughn. So yeah, you've seen all those people: Trevor, Sam, Jordan, Greg, and Vaughn. Yeah, and we're playing Ravenloft. And Ravenloft is so much fun to Dungeon Master, but is just sounds like a miserable experience to be a PC. Mm-hmm. Right now, like half of them are cursed. One of them is permanently blind and deaf. One of them is what was I going to say? One of them, well, I can't actually say that. That's a spoiler. But something really bad happened to one of them, and they don't know that yet. Shh. Yeah, so that's my favorite to DM because I get to just heap new tortures onto the players. I know this is probably a similar minefield for UK because you don't play a lot of other systems.
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed the one that I can't remember what it's called, but where you start in the Underdark.
Oh, Out of the Abyss.
Yeah, I liked that one. And then I at some point want to play Tomb of Annihilation.
Oh, yeah. That's a really fun one.
But I think I'd want to DM that and not play.
You should. I read it. It's a really fun one. You should DM it and then I'll play and I'll know all the answers. I read the book already.
That sounds like cheating.
That's how Dungeons & Dragons works. You got to read the books first. That's how you win. Yeah, let's see. We got some comments in here. Yeah, check them out, Jack. They're great. Adam Pearson says Spelljammer. Spelljammer looks so fun. I don't know if you're familiar, Kate. It's basically just like a kind of space opera, but with magic. So you're like flying around and there's different planets and everything's all magically powered. I like Spelljammer because there's like a race of gigantic hippo people called the GIF that they're very like British FX. They are all Commodore this and Captain that and the periwigs and the blunderbusses. Yeah, they're great. I really want to play Spelljammer like purely to be a giant hippo man. Yeah, GIF with guns, exactly. Vaughn, hey Vaughn, thanks for coming, buddy. He says he's about to start Out of the Abyss as well. Yeah, that's kind of a steep beginning because it's got that prison sequence. That one always scared me off because as a DM, it's like, here's 19 NPCs that are all in the same prison cell with the characters. Like, deal with it. I think if I ran it, I might cut those down because that just seems so crazy. When you played, did they have everybody in there with you?
Not all of them.
Okay.
There were like the 5 of us players, and then there were maybe six or something.
So
and then
many.
they maybe like lumped some together, but like we lost a lot of them.
Of course, yeah. They're not really all meant to come with you, or survive.
Oh, and I really did like that one game where you are like 5 peasants or whatever, and then you have like 3 hit points or something.
I don't know that game. It's something about it's like the Star Goddess or something like that. You guys ran it with Shane, I think, from Dark Dungeons. Dank Dungeons. Sorry, buddy. I think it's Shane, right? Yeah, I think that's the same guy. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, cool. That was fun too. I like the because like, and then it just takes away all of your care, and you're just like, well, I did one thing, so none of you.
Yeah, you start with no equipment, right? Like you're just
and you have like maybe 3, maybe 4 hit points,
right?
But just have 2.
You're just a garbage peasant. Yeah, that's
that
fun.
Was fun.
Dragon Heist looks really cool. That's the new one, the sort of city adventure. I love urban campaigns. Tomb has some DM twists players can't be. Oh, that's true. There's some stuff in there you can mess around with. I mean, Dragon Heist in particular is good for that because it has the 4 different villains. If you choose, you can choose to play it in like winter or spring or whatever, and that changes the story, which I think is cool. Other questions we got. Adam Pearson asked me about what the secret project is. I'm willing to tell you, Adam, but if I told you, it would actually cause the stream. The last time, like we sort of did a test stream and we kind of just answered a few questions there, and it actually caused like thick black smoke. Remember that to come out of the laptop when I explained what the secret project was.
It was a very expensive time.
Yeah, we had to kind of get rid of that lap. We're now using Kate's laptop, but my laptop is dead. It also is kind of whispering things to me, like now, like
I don't hear.
She claims she doesn't hear it whispering.
I don't hear it.
Yes, the internet is kind of being held to ransom if I tell you about it, Adam. So we can't really divulge at this point. Maybe when I get a new laptop, maybe when this one I can get this one exercised, then we can talk about it. But I just don't want to risk Kate's laptop now if I talk about it.
Yeah.
It's very secretive. But in all honesty, you will know the answer to that relatively soon. As we're kind of coming up to the end of season 2 here, we'll be talking about next steps and where we are going from there. I did engage in a little bit of clickbait the other day, and I posted a thing saying, if you want to know the answer to the real question, the big question, season 3, come to this Q&A.
Dick.
I did. So that's why we have so many people here, because they're all just waiting for me to talk about season 3. So we'll talk about season 3 right after these messages. Like, just do a bunch of like ads, interstitial ads.
Wow.
Great. So let's see. Season 3. We have some questions. Oh, Kyrosha.
I played in 4E a minute ago.
Just reading.
Yeah. So actually, when I first started playing D&D, 6 years ago?
I could be right. I don't know the math.
7. I don't know. 7 years ago with Timothy. He was like my first like main campaign, and we played up until level 23.
You were 21 when we stopped the main game, and now we're doing those one shots.
Right. So we all got really used to it, but like now having played in 5e for so long, the combats take so much time. In 4e.
I mean, and they even do back then. Like, what's nice about 5 is you can buzz through those combats pretty quick.
Yeah, but in 4e, like it's cool because like I feel like you it feels like there's more personalization in how your character is built and constructed and grows in 4E, whereas in 5E it's more based on, I guess, still character, but not like with the things that you get or the things that you choose to learn and all. I don't know. Like it's more intricate in 4E, but it's also just everything is so much more laborious.
Yeah, it's all very, and for a dungeon master, 4E did a lot to empower the DM. Back in previous editions, it had just kind of been players ran amok a lot of the time. And 4E, for good or for ill, tried to kind of standardize a lot of player power. So a 20th level wizard and a 20th level fighter were approximately the same in power, where that was not the case in previous editions. The wide differences. It also was very good at letting the DM feel like they could design sort of whatever they wanted. The DM could break the rules a lot more. In previous versions, it was all about, well, okay, if you're going to have them fight a monster, you need to explain exactly why the monster has as many hit points as it does, and why does it have these abilities. If it has that ability, that means it can't have this ability. 4E kind of took the shackles off and just said, do whatever the hell you want. Yeah. And that has carried over into 5th, and that's all I care about. As long as I still have that freedom to just kind of break the rules and say, well, I'm the dungeon master, the monster works this way because it does, then I'm happy. A couple of other great questions in here. Adam wants to talk about my homebrew world, Kairosia. Kairosia is sort of the world of XP, yes, but also of the Junior Adventurers League. We may see more of Kairosia, but there are other sort of locations and things we're going to be exploring in future products that I'm excited, because we're going to try to do a little bit more standardized world building for some of those things going forward, because, yeah. Oh, wait, hold on. I see some smoke. Sorry, I'm talking about the secret project again. No, it's just a little bit of smoke. You're okay. You're okay. Christopher, hey, Christoph. Nice to see you, man. This is a really good question. For this season, was it a commentary on a troubled D&D group or a troubled DM? I often thought a lot of the issues could have been alleviated via better DM diplomacy. And that's an excellent question. I think it's kind of a little bit of both, but I think in my head, it's kind of a troubled DM. I think that Alan had sort of assumed when he was playing with a group of friends, people who knew him and understood kind of his language and how he operated, that he was this great and powerful dungeon master who knew how to run, he could run whatever campaign he wanted. He felt very comfortable and very safe. And so to take him out and put him with a bunch of strangers, you kind of start to think in the beginning of the season, like, oh, they're all terrible and they don't get along. And poor Alan. But I think he starts to learn that he needs to adapt to them as opposed to just kind of forcing his will onto them. I think you're exactly right. There's a lot of moments when he could have jumped in and tried to solve a problem, but doesn't, and he hesitates, right? And you see the fight happens. He kind of tries to get in there, but obviously the solution is just to stop playing, is to isolate. He's not as good as he thinks he was, right? And so it's kind of about him going back to square one and saying, what made you good in the first place? And like building back up is how I saw it and how I tried to write it. What do you think, Kate? You got any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think that's true. Like this season has always been so much more a story about Alan and like his situation, not only in game, but also in his life, and how that really, I mean, the first season was how D&D can really affect your life and how much you might need it sometimes for its outlet. And this season I think is the same, but it's like how your life can really influence D&D, and how sometimes, like, while you need D&D in your life to make things maybe happier or more positive, sometimes you also, like, your life can affect the game, especially if you're running it. It can really mess with you. And he's in such a vulnerable place anyway at the start of this season because of all of the changes that have happened to him.
Right, exactly. Yeah, and that's we wanted to kind of show that the first season is just so positive and like, look at all the great things that can happen, but it can be equally as problematic or equally as stressful or equally as frustrating, or again, you literally describe it as that group fight scene is so frustrating. I was like, Alan, make everyone take a break. And I think he kind of tries to, but he just doesn't have the wherewithal, right? He's not as assertive a person as he needs to be in that scene.
Yeah, he has no power, he feels.
Yeah, so that's a very good observation. Evan says, hi, I'm new to your work, but love it. Could you tell me what camera you use? Yes, there is such a thing as a dumb question. No, that's a great question.
Yeah, I mean, that I have yet to hear a dumb question, but we used the Black Magic. I know a new one's coming out this year, and our DP is around somewhere, and I'm waiting for him to peek out. But,
he's very, very, ironically, very camera shy. He hates being on the camera.
I'm probably hearing all of this, so now I'm self-conscious. But we used the Black Magic, and we had a couple pocket Black Magic as well for some of the wider shots, since we have to shoot 3 angles at once to cover all of the content in the amount of time that we had.
That's what's really fun about this show, is that you get some really awesome like continuity moments that are much harder to get in other shows because we have 3 cameras running. So you'll see a character in like one of the split screens will reach into frame of one of the other split screens, and the timing works out perfectly. And that's not something you normally get to do in a lot of other projects, because you're usually running 1, maybe 2 cameras if it's like a weird setup, right? So
yeah, we were very lucky.
yeah, super lucky. And it looks great. I'm happy. Very, very happy with it.
Yeah. We used the black magic, I think, on season 1 as well.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
I think season 2 looks really cool too, because I think I don't know if it was a conscious decision or not, but I feel like the lighting is very different in both seasons.
Yes.
It's funny, you go back now and watch season 1 and be like, it's so dark, right?
Yeah.
Like, it isn't bad. Like
Yeah.
it fits the mood. They're in this creepy castle. Now that we're kind of out in the desert, it has this different, almost warmer feel, which I think is cool. Vaughn asked a question a while ago. I want to jump in. Does combat and epic level play result in decision paralysis? I would definitely say so. What's extra tricky about 4th edition for us right now is that we're playing the 4th edition campaign. We're playing with like one adventure a year. We kind of get the old group back together. And so now not only are you an epic level 4th edition character, but you haven't played your character in a year. And so you don't remember how too many of the your abilities work and how they interact with other characters' abilities. So like when I design those adventures, I specifically try to write like one relatively short combat, because otherwise it's going to take 4 hours for everyone to like unload their dailies and all this crazy stuff. So yes, decision paralysis becomes a big part of it, because you have to reread all your abilities and like, wait, but if it's already, slowed, then this thing isn't as good because this slows it. And so just a bunch of
I can't imagine DMing a bunch of characters at that level, because I feel like it would be so frustrating for you to just be like, okay, but then this person is slow, but then this effect takes it, but then also all these, and you're just like,
you end up just doing things like this monster cannot be slowed, right? Like you just write horrible broken abilities like that, because otherwise the monster won't get to do anything, right?
That's true.
So that's where epic level 4th edition is fun. It's just saying like, well, great. This is just going to just deals 70 damage as a minor action. It won't kill anyone. That won't be a big deal. Crazy. What else we got?
Cool.
Christoph, do you want to take this one?
Was there an actor that not on screen for the most part? I feel like everyone was pretty true to script. There's a lot of ad-libbing.
We run a really tight ship around here. There's not a lot of room for improvisation on experience points.
I just cut a lot of it out. Yes, off screen and in Blue Bees, you'll see that there's a lot of ad-libbing that happens. And then, but for the most part, like in game, everyone was pretty close to script, which is like really
it's a huge what is the word I'm looking for? Credit. It's a huge credit to them, because they don't have a lot of time to memorize it, and it's, boy, is it a lot of things to say. You know what I mean? It's a lot of numbers and it's a lot of math, and like we're doing 30 pages a day, and it's okay. I attack, and it's a lot of times in combat rounds, it's like some characters just spend every round just attacking with the same weapon, and so you got to keep those turns distinct, right? Like, very difficult.
Yeah.
I would probably say the Stephen and Paul, the actors who play Jordan and Sam, have the most ad lib. There is like one epic Eliza ad lib that I can't wait to show people, that is like my favorite, and she just crushes it. It's not entirely in there, but it's like a longer version. I can't wait to show people.
Yeah, that one's really good.
She's so good.
I like that one a lot.
Someone said, I know Eliza is a gamer as well, but what has the conversion rate been with the other actors? That's a good question. Steven is an old-time player, well, at least in our group. Steven and Kate have been playing for about the same length of time. I taught Paul recently. I've kind of been his primary DM. We played Chris Estrada, was sort of his first big campaign. You taught Megan how to play, though, right?
I did, yeah. She's in my all-female campaign that I'm currently running D&D one-shots for, as I'm sort of training to DM, kind of.
Right.
So she's in that game, and I think that's a lot of fun. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Oh, we have a Steven fan in here. Hey, Wally.
Yay.
Yeah, he's great. He's got a huge career. You can follow Steven along. He's in the Bearded Men. He's Joker blogs. Yeah, he's got a lot of some theatrical films you can watch him in. He's a good fellow. Great. Well, we didn't actually talk about the thing that I said we were going to talk about. You think we should talk about not the secret project? I mean, I probably shouldn't even say secret project. Oh, great. Here's a question to distract me from season 3. Any behind the scenes shenanigans? A couple.
We were filming in a garage that we were trying to like pretend was a basement somewhere. Yeah. So we were filming like in February, but there were still crickets around. So there's all these crickets all the time. You can probably hear them peeking in. So we had to do this thing where we would slam the garage door. It sounded really violent all the time. And there were bye, Christoph.
Thanks for coming, Christoph. Great questions, bud.
There were a lot of cars that went by, and a lot of like, for whatever reason, like police cars and helicopters that we always had a ongoing joke that was Pizza Patrol.
Usual arriving, but like they're actually a real paramilitary organization, and that they come in like like a SWAT team, right? Like fire the pizza in, and it gets destroyed in the process of that was a recurring joke too.
So that was one. I'm trying to think
behind the scenes shenanigans.
You kept summoning.
I'm very funny, so I have a funny story about how funny I am. No, there was a joke where we would try to call people back to set because they would be wandering around eating, snacking or whatever. And so rather than just politely asking them back, I sort of made a joke about how I would conjure them through the dark ether. I think there's a blooper we posted of me conjuring Eliza, and she was always a good sport about it. I would, by the black fangs of Set kind of a thing. And then she would come in through the garage door, just like shaking, foaming at the mouth, and sit down and be like, "Oh, woof, hey guys, it's me." And after a couple of them, she was like, "Can you just call me next time? Traffic in the dark realm right now is like so thick." Yeah, she was always a great sport. Hey, Vaughn. Vaughn's got a good question. Was Alan's shaven head a character choice or a Tim choice? I assumed it was Alan purging something. You're exactly right. He does make a point about saying it was time to like make a change. Nothing like, we should maybe clarify this. Nothing like super traumatic happened to Alan. He just kind of had like a bad couple of months. He's implied to be in a relationship at the beginning or during season 1. And anyone who's watched the only the 2 episodes of the Dukes Men that we've made, we'll keep making more. There's more. Learned that relationship ended and that he, I don't know if he quite loses his job. Something
I feel
else
like he just has a job he doesn't really care about, and everyone has moved away at this point.
Right, everyone has moved away, and so he's just he's got nothing left to do out in LA, and so he's. I think the point was that it was like he can't afford the apartment he's in without his girlfriend still living there, and so he ends up having to move back home. So to him, it's kind of like we're going back to square one. Like I don't want to be the person that I was out there. I want to try to kind of reinvent myself, and so there it goes. But yeah, that was not a wig. That was me shaving my head. Apparently, this is pointed out to me by Amy Vorpal when she came to guest with us. Apparently, I have some sort of superhuman hair growing powers. I don't know, because I guess people can't grow their hair as fast as I can. It doesn't seem weird to me, but everyone's mad about it. Kate's mad about it right now. So no, there were no wigs. I just shaved my head. We kind of shot all the flashback stuff first because we wanted different lengths of hair.
Yes.
Most of them.
Most of it, yeah. Yep.
And then once we had most of that stuff in the can, then we shaved my head. Yeah, Brooke, I mean, anyone who watches Junior Avengers League can attest to the speed at which my hair grows back.
That's true, yeah.
I cosplay as a bald character, Spider Jerusalem, every year for Emerald City Comic Con. And so I shaved my head in March, and it timed out. We thought, hey, what if we shaved his head?
And I like that the look is distinctly different from season 1, and it feels a little more, especially with the beard, it's like a little more haggard and a little more, it's a little tougher.
He looks kind of like he's on the edge a little bit. Yeah, a little bit more like a kind of a crazed man.
Like a wasteland survivor.
Yeah. Ooh, he's just desperate, right? He needs this. It's like if he doesn't have this, everything is going to fall apart. Yeah. So no wig. Great. Well, now there's no more questions about anything else. Please. Come on, unless anyone else had like a different question, then we could avoid talking about it. I don't know why we want to avoid it. Like there's nothing bad or scary about it. So we do have plans for season 3. Yes. Rather than last time we were kind of like, oh, should we do it? I'll keep you in suspense. Yes, we want to do it. It's a little bit more complicated than that in a good way. And we don't quite want to spill the beans as of yet, but there will. As far as we are concerned, yes, there's going to be season 3. We have some really interesting ideas for it, and I'm really excited about it. And for certain reasons, Kate is also excited, but also a little bit scared about it, right? Just a little bit. But I think that's going to be really cool because it's more ambitious, and that's kind of our thing. Yeah, I'll punch the air. I'm into it. Woo! Air punch.
I'm a not violent person, so I'm not going to punch the air.
Yeah, it's just non-violent way. I like how the chat is way more excited than we are about it. They're like, fuck yeah, yeah! And we're like, season 3, yep.
Just got to 2.
We just finished 2, and it's like, here we go back in. Bolder, bigger, better. Yes, I think that's a good way to think about it. I was so happy with season 2, Kate. I still think about it very fondly. I mean, still as though it was years ago. I'm thinking about it fondly right now. I'm very happy with where we ended up with it. And I think it was I just like the idea we just keep getting bigger and bolder and better, right? Like, yeah, I'm excited. Let's see. We've been going for about a half an hour. What do you think? Maybe 5-10 more minutes, and then we want to drop some episodes? Want to hang out longer than that?
So
how do you guys feel?
Yeah, what do you guys want?
How do you guys feel? Any more questions, Frost? Frost. I have a cream soda that Kate bought me because she's very kind. So I'm going to keep drinking this cream soda. I also have French fries that are off screen because we had a production meeting. And production meetings we're actually contractually required to conduct them at the McDonald's across the street from Kate's
So this all
apartment.
began.
Uh-huh.
Not at that McDonald's.
But at a McDonald's.
Brought to you by Ovalini Cheese.
Oh, yeah, that's right. What's your guys' favorite episode of season 2?
Do you have any predictions also?
Oh, predictions
the
for
rest
what's
of the
coming up.
season?
Was season 3 the secret project, or are more secrets hidden beneath the curtain? More secrets. Even more. Hey, Care Bear TV, welcome. 7 is your favorite. 7.
7.
Oh, you told me that, Adam. You had a
Yeah.
emotional reaction to that. I appreciate that.
I think 7 is my favorite too.
Oh, it's a really good one. Any favorite little... Oh, hey. Okay, I have a question for you. This is our friend and our patron.
Scorpion Park.
And I just don't know how to pronounce your name. Even your handle. Nymphy? Niffy? I'm so sorry. We chat all the time, and I'm being outed here in front of everyone, but I don't know how to pronounce it.
I know how to say it, but he needs to learn.
I need to learn. I also don't know how to say your real name either, because it's Gaelic, and it's very cool, but I'm worried I'm saying it wrong. Neva. Is that right?
Nev.
Nev. That's what I thought. Nev. Cool. Hey, Nev. Thanks so much for coming. Any favorite little subtle moments from season 2? Do you like Taylor Swift? Is a great question. 10 is also nuts. I like 10. 10 might be my favorite. I'm sure. I'm so sorry, Nev. That's very frustrating. It is your life story. Okay, let's bust these out.
Okay.
Favorite little subtle moments from season 2. Ironically, Nev, you pointed this out. There is a moment in one of the episodes that was like 8 or 10, one of the more recent episodes, where when Thorvek starts as Thorvek, he doesn't do a character voice because he's a little bit uncomfortable. But as he kind of relaxes and starts to play with the group a little bit, he sort of sees Jordan doing the Scottish accent for the dwarf, and he kind of starts to experiment a little bit with doing a Scottish accent. Paul's super subtle. It's really, really nicely done, and there's no dialogue about it or anything. That wasn't something I wrote in the script. And that's one of my favorite little like subtle little plays in there. Yeah. Paul's so good.
Yeah.
He's a good actor, boy.
Yeah.
What a good special boy he is. You have one, it sounds like.
I have a couple. There's one when Megan's character gets the symbol, and she did this like just one time in rehearsal, but she like her whole like mimicking the symbol, and then she says that is not a happy symbol.
Oh, that's funny.
It was so funny when she
tusks.
did it. So
that's cool.
That's
like
one
that.
of mine. There's a part where I feel like a lot of the back and forth with Stephen and Paul, like when they're like joking and stuff, is really fun. And then just Elise just has so many good facial expressions. Like,
oh God, yeah.
I can't remember if it's in the ones that we're about to see particularly, but like there's a couple of moments she has where it's just.
There's 1 in
watching her is
10
so fun.
when Alan is like describing a Thumhotep in a really like overwrought way, where she's got this like, nope, I don't want anything to do with the Thumhotep, and she's like, it's like she had a lemon or something. Like, ick, no, I don't thank you. Yeah, she is the queen of micro expressions. Like you watch one of her takes, and there's like 4 things happening in different corners of her face. How does she do that? Oh, she's so good. Let's get some of these. Vaughn says his favorite moment is when Alan dialed a friend, and we saw those flashbacks. There's a lot of love for the season 1 cast, understandably. The D12, yeah, the D12 is maybe my proudest achievement in the script, because we had the premiere party at the beginning of the season, and we invited, of course, a bunch of nerds and D&D players. So when Sam first starts to roll it in episode 2, he rolls a 12. They're just like playing D&D, and the whole crowd goes, oh, they start to like audibly react. And that's when you know that
It was really sad.
Yeah, it was so satisfying. And then one time, all I wanted, and this, not that our fans would ever do this because our fans are great, but I wanted one like angry dude to come out and be like, that's the wrong die. And we got one person who's not a follower of ours on Twitter who was like, he's rolling a D12, and that's all I wanted. I wanted to like lure somebody out with it. But it's actually intentional. That made me very, very happy.
Yep.
Jack says, I love the first
serial killer roommate. Yeah.
Oh yeah, serial killer roommates. Pretty funny. Jack says, I love the first episode the best. Always love seeing the cast meet for the first time. No, that's good. That's cute. Care Bear TV wants to know if we like Taylor Swift and if we dabbed Taylor Swift Shake It Off.
I don't. I like Taylor Swift. She's fine. But I don't. I just kind of sing to it occasionally.
I actually like that song. Okay, that's one of my guilty pleasures. I have never dabbed to it. I have dabbed. One time I dabbed because I accidentally like started to do something that looked like a Nazi hail. I went like, hey, could you? And I'm like, oh, nope, gotta save it, dab. That was the only time that I like significantly dabbed recently. 8. Right after the door opens, loved it. Do 12 things. Brilliant, drove you nuts, right? Yeah, and that's the thing. I've had that happen to me too. That's what it was inspired by. I had a player in one of my first 3.5 campaigns who, for a couple of sessions, rolled all their attacks to the D12, and he didn't even have a D20. He didn't own one. He bought the wrong dice, and it was just like this really sad moment when he was not having fun. He couldn't hit anything, right? And I had to do it,
right?
Yeah, Vaughn. Everyone loves Jordan's creepy serial killer roommate, right? The funny thing with that scene is that I didn't really write him to be a serial killer. I just wrote it to be one of those weird conversations that you have with a stranger where you're either like playing D&D. One of the most recent campaigns I had, there were a bunch of roommates that lived in the same house, and they would just sometimes come in and cook in the background. And I just had to teach myself to not care. Like normally I would have gotten very like, oh, I'm doing a voice and there's people here. Like just whatever. I don't care. You're not a person to me anymore. So I wanted to show the first time this happens to Alan. But then we cast Tori in the part. And well, you talk about Tori a little bit.
Honestly, like we're like, can you just like give us a read of it? And he did, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, that's it. He's just got such a gift for playing creepers. Fans of the Joker blogs will recognize him. He plays
Crane.
Plays Jonathan Crane because he looks creepily like Cillian Murphy. But yeah, so he just turned the character into a psychopath, and it was so funny on the day that like we have to keep it. I love his read of it, but that was not the intention with the character.
Yeah,
poor Vaughn. Let's see, what else do we have? Enjoy having people yelling at their TV. Yeah, I do enjoy that. How much of season 3 is scoped out, or is it still that overwhelming and amorphous stage? That, surprisingly, Daniel, which by the way, welcome, is my favorite stage. I like it when everything is really nebulous because then anything can still happen. Once you start locking things down, that's when it feels like, you have fewer and fewer options. What do you think? How amorphous are we right now?
We're like pretty broad strokes.
Yeah.
Currently. And we have a lot of ideas too, but we don't know if we'll keep them all or if they'll tie together.
Which ones will stick in and which ones we'll be able to pull off and things like that. I'm excited about the direction of it though. That I think is really cool. Yeah, thank you, Brooke. That is a very valid reason to dab. Vaughn says he loved the puzzle prop, even if Jordan didn't.
It's currently in my car because I don't want to just get rid of it. It seemed weird to do, but I don't know where else to store it. So that and the screen are just in my car. And I'm hoping people ride in there and are like, what is this?
Oh, what's this cool ancient styrofoam device? You still have the old Nightspear screen too, don't you? Or did you get rid of that one? Yeah.
Just keep screens.
Just keep them all because I'm not bringing them back to Seattle. Yeah, I was happy with that. I didn't know if it was going to turn out. Yeah. All the props and like anything that Alan would have handmade, I make because we wanted to have like a consistent sort of style. So I was kind of coming out of the wire on that dial. We were like right up to the day, and I was sort of like, oh, let me just quick put this in here. And it really does not turn very well at all. At least it was a very good sport in spinning it. If you really like tried to spin it, it's just kind of crappy. Looks cool.
Hey, Ethan.
Hey, what's up, Ethan? Let's see. Thorvek calming down Thorvar unprompted was very cool. Oh yeah. Are you talking about in episode 3 with the remember the time you fooked a princess, or is there another time? Because like I feel like he gets prompted there. Maybe there's another time I'm not thinking of.
Yeah, I can't quite.
I'm not sure either. Yeah, out of the rage. Yeah, so that moment, right? Yeah, a little Hulk and Black Widow moment, and it's kind of Sam's first little like, what if I role played a little bit? Like, what about this idea for our characters? Because he's kind of reluctant up to that point to do any of that stuff. Oh, your dog, Gizmo. That makes more sense. Yeah. Brooke, I was like, who the hell is Gizmo? But you talked about your dog before. He says, bark, bark. What's up, Gizmo? How you doing? Thanks, Adam. I'm glad you like my screens. They take a lot of work, but they're always cool. I like to do custom screens for the different games that I run. Great. Let's do 5 more minutes.
Sure.
Do you want to do 10 more minutes?
I don't.
You want to do 25 more? You want to do 35? No, that's fine.
Let's just keep rolling forever.
Let's just do it all night long.
I'm excited because episode 12 finally has the full credits, and you know how much I love all the yummy full credits.
Yes. There's a couple surprises coming yet in 11 and 12, and that's definitely one of them. The show is by no means over. I mean, we're still in the thick of it, right? Oh, I want to do this. What are your predictions? What do you think is going to happen, folks? How are they going to get out? Pizza Patrol? Is everyone going to get mad at Alan and throw their dice in the air and storm out? Like, is it going to go well? Is it going to turn out?
Are we going to cut into the D&D world?
for the first time. What is that season 3? What if season 3 is like, now we're going into the world? Like the one thing we've refused to do.
Thanks, Vaughn. Yeah, they do a really, really good job of the minutia of. I mean, I think it helps that they all have played and some of them started more recently, so they can kind of call back to that. But like they all do, I think, a very good job of like playing new players.
One thing we didn't talk about was the fact that Elisa had never really played 5th edition very much. She came and guested on Junior Adventurers League one time.
Yeah.
But besides that, she'd never played 5th. And of course, we cast her as the character who knows the rules inside and out. She was such a trooper at getting through that stuff. Like, not like, oh, she did well, but like, she, like, you can't tell, right? Like, you watch it and it's as convincing as if she was.
Yeah, and she has so many, like, good questions up front, too, about, like, you know, like not only this line, what does it mean, but like really making sure she understood why. And
right, yeah, she wasn't just memorizing.
Crash
she wanted
course
to like
and rules.
Yeah, and like deeply understand like how the math works and why am I saying this. But even there, towards the end, we got to this period where like she didn't quite have time to like tuck into all that, and she still like motors her way through. Isn't there the scorpion take you specifically wanted to use? That there's like one take where. The joke is that Alan asks Kelsey if do you have stats for Scorpion? And she just rattles off the stats off the top of her head. And, you know, Vanessa and Alan joke about, does she have stats? Yeah, I don't know what she was thinking. But Elisa was determined to get it in one take, just like to blast her. Because it's just like, you know, plus AC 14 plus 3 to hit, one piercing damage, DC 13 con save for 2d6 poison damage or whatever. Yeah. And yeah, I think we keep it in. I think it's her one take.
She like goes into this zone, which is again like a testament to her because she had tried like and kept like all these tiny little like mix-ups, and it's
so confusing if you especially don't know what you're talking about.
There's so much like happening, and so she's trying to just get through it. So what I like is that it's not her just like, yeah, so he has this and like being like kind of cocky about it. It's almost like her as a person just trying to remember how the exact line goes, like kind of zones, and she's like, okay, so Scorpion has all of this, and she just like is a robot about it.
So
but
it goes
I think
to
it
her
makes
mind
it
palace.
better
Yeah,
because like it just seems like
it seems very
Kelsey is actually just like seeing the mind palace stats instead of Elisa being like, this is the fucking line.
The line.
I'm gonna get it.
God damn it.
And she did.
She killed it. Yeah. Yeah, so they're great.
A lot of good predictions happening here.
Pizza Patrol freeze frame. So maybe it's like Pizza Patrol shows up and everyone's like, yeah, Jordan's like, yeah. And they jump in the air and they do a high five and then it freeze frames and then the credits like.
Oh, we should redo it.
Scroll by. Can we
should just cut off the last 10 minutes
real quick?
12 and just get everyone in. We can superpose that. You guys are fine waiting another 2 days to see the finale.
Daniel Chan says Tori steps in with pizza. That's an excellent prediction. Vaughn has eaten all the pizza. Ooh, that's another really good twist.
Serial killer move.
I like that. That's a serial killer move.
I've seen a lot of horror films. I understand serial killers.
Wayfinder comes back to life, and we see her in Thorvar's honeymoon. Oh, that's cute. They did kind of have a little thing.
That raunchy saxophone did.
That grapple creature surprise was a nice touch. Oh, I love the choker. The choker is now in 5th edition, but when we wrote it, it wasn't. It's in Morton Kane's Tome of Foes. But the choker is one of those great encounters where like again, the classic choker encounter is the party enters a room and the choker is above the doorway and it snags the last person to come in and grabs him, and the rest of the group has to like walk around. How long does it take them to realize somebody else got snagged? If you're really clever, then you get the next person and the next person until it's just one person left. But it's not a hard monster to beat. It's not that, oh no, we have to defeat it. It's just that moment of like you turn around and 9 Roads is gone. Where did she go? Right. But because of the way it shakes out here, he doesn't really get to have his cool choker moment. But I love the choker. It's a classic. Brooke says she's cool to wait, so
great.
Let's just go reshoot that. Elisa does have experience with being a Vulcan. That's exactly right, and that's almost one of the reasons we thought like, oh, we gotta put her as Kelsey because he just has that cold, logical, right? Yeah. I predict the PC's escape and the kaiju is either contained or rampages off. This is the player's first game, after all. It shouldn't wrap up in one game. I mean, ideally, yeah, that's true. Brooke says the level 2 gang manages to defeat it. Hey, let's not rule anything out.
Hey,
it's totally possible.
It can happen.
It can happen.
It did.
I have these delicious fries, you guys. Do you want any fries? I have like a whole thing. I said we had good snacks.
Your Adventures League style. Hell yeah.
No? Oh, I mean, that's okay. I can have them.
Oh, the Joker. Yeah, choker.
Oh, choker. The Joker. Yeah.
So the Joker, he hangs out.
I love the Joker. Yeah, he's up above the door and he'll grab you.
Grabs people.
The choker.
Also scary.
Right? Aren't they spooky? The Joker is really spooky. They're more of a 3rd edition monster, I think, but now they're back in 5th. I always love the detail. I don't know if this is in 5th, but in 3rd, the image of the hand is really big, and they have these little tiny like spines on the hand. So they like grab you, and then not only are you being grappled, but you're being like pierced by all these needles, and like something about that really always freaked me out as a kid. And in the 3rd edition Monster Manual, it's like up in a door jam, so it's got like one leg across and one arm, and it was just this very dynamic picture. And it's like early in the Monster Manual, I was flipping through it as like an 11-year-old, like, what is that? Yeah, I love the Joker. Yeah, like, too spoopy. Yeah, if it was going to be a Joker in the door jam, I would hope that it would be Mark Hamill's. Mark Hamill plays the Joker. What do you think, Kate? 4 or 5 minutes? I think we should do it. Yeah, drop it. All right, folks. If you have any last questions, quickly blurt them out. But otherwise, we're gonna unleash the last 2 episodes of season 2 of Experience Points. I don't know what to do about that. I'm scared. How do you feel?
I'm a little sad.
I'm a little sad too. I didn't feel sad until this exact moment. How do you guys feel? Do you feel a little sad? I'm sure you're just excited to see what happens. What is the airspeed velocity? God damn it. If it's unladen, I'm going to say a swallow. They're British, right? So they would be in kilometers. Not swallows aren't British. I mean, I'm sure they're British swallows, but oh, you're right. Yeah, I get thrown off the bridge. Isn't that what happens? Yeah. Okay. Too late.
Yeah, you died.
I died already. Kate, what's the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow?
5. No, 3.
Oh, it's been such a long time. I gotta watch that movie again.
Well, anyway.
Hey, guys. Great. So we'll unleash those episodes right now. And then you can watch them, and we'll be on Twitter. You can talk to us about it.
Let us know everything that you're thinking and feeling.
Yeah,
at the precise moment you're thinking.
We thought about live tweeting it, but there are actually a few too many spoilers for us to do that comfortably. So take that and think about that for a little bit. What does that mean? All right, here we go. Off to release them. Would you want to say bye, or do you want to wait until they get dropped just to make sure people can?
We can hang out and make sure that they get
just hang for a second. I love you, Adam. I love you. Yeah, D&D, Holy Grail is a good D&D conversion too. Yeah, it's that classic meme, right, about how everybody thinks their party is the Fellowship, or their party is really Monty Python, because like D&D sells itself as like heroic adventure, but everyone is just these weird like losers bumping around.
I seduced the dragon.
Yeah, exactly. That's what D&D actually is. Okay, here we go. Episode 11. Going into edit video. I'm kind of peeling away some of the mystery, right?
Yeah.
This is how it's done. From private to public. Publish. Pretty hot, I know. I know how to do I know how to put it on unlisted even if you want.
Wow.
XP Unlisted sounds like our burlesque show, right? Like we have like a late night like XP Unlisted. Here comes
thanks for watching.
Episode 12. Guys. Thank you for watching. Thanks for watching this. Thank you for watching the show. Thank you for patronizing. Thank you for sharing and tweeting and being so great. And coming to our Q&A.
At night.
Heyo. Great. They're both up. Let us know if you can see them. And we'll talk to you guys soon.
We're pausing.
Now you just have to vamp like this for a while. Yep, I got the notification. Awesome. Cool. All right, dudes, enjoy. We will see you soon.
Sweet.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
Bye.
Pizza Patrol!